The man was on a flight when he noticed something bizarre. His fingernails were turning black. It immediately struck him as a sign of oxygen deprivation. Before he could even figure out what to do, the water bottle next to him began to crumple, and the cup on his tray started to shake. Flight attendant Lisa sensed something was wrong and quickly took the nearest jump seat, shouting for everyone to return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. But it was already too late. The plane began to jolt violently. Passengers who weren't buckled in were thrown into the air, luggage tumbled from the overhead bins, and panic set in. Everyone clung to their armrests, silently begging to make it through. Within moments, the cabin pressure dropped to a critical level. Oxygen masks dropped from above, and passengers scrambled to put them on. Luckily, the turbulence soon eased, and breathing became easier. The captain finally addressed the cabin, explaining that they had hit a strong air current, which caused a sudden loss of pressure. He'd immediately descended to a lower altitude, and the cabin pressure had now stabilized. With that announcement, people slowly removed their masks, still shaken, but relieved. Just as things seemed to settle, one man began breathing rapidly. Lisa rushed over, but by then he was already convulsing. She anxiously called out to see if there was a doctor on board, then turned back to the man in the suit. Suddenly, he shoved his hand into his mouth, and in the next moment, a gush of blood sprayed out. Jack, who was a doctor, stepped in to help, but the suited man's convulsions intensified, and before long, his body went limp. He was moved to another part of the plane, but unfortunately, he didn't make it. To prevent mass panic, the crew relocated the upper deck passengers to available seats below and placed the body upstairs. That's when a long-haired man seated in the front caught sight of the dead man's gold watch, and greed kicked in. While everyone else was resting, he snuck up to the second deck. Fighting back nausea, he slipped the gold watch off the man's wrist, but he didn't stop there. The audacity. He even pulled out his phone to film himself showing off his loot. Too caught up in his little heist, he didn't notice the corpse's head slowly turning toward him. And right then, he made the ultimate mistake. He lifted the sheet.